Lesson 23 is about the U.S. customary system. And what we're going to do in this lesson is to convert measurements that are given to us in like feet or inches or yards or miles, and we're going to go back and forth between those different types of measurements. The first question says, use unit multipliers to convert 420 feet to yards. Now a unit multiplier is just a way of writing how many feet there are in a yard. Now, we know that there are 3 feet in 1 yard. And we can write it like this. Or we could say there's 1 yard in 3 feet. And we could write it this way. Both of these are exactly the same thing. They're just a ratio. What we want to do when we convert 420 feet to yards is to set up a problem like this. We're going to say we have 420 feet. And we're going to multiply it by one of our unit multipliers that we have right here to figure out what our answer is going to be. Now 420 feet is the same thing as 420 feet over 1. So let's put that. Now the unit multiplier that we want to use will have feet in the denominator. And that's because feet divided by feet will cancel each other out. Feet divided by feet, we have nothing left. So we're going to have the yards on top if we have the feet on bottom. And we'll come over here and we'll figure out which one is right. Well, we have 1 yard and 3 feet. So this example, we're using this unit multiplier. We have 1 yard, we have 3 feet. Now we can go ahead and figure out our answer. 420 times 1 is equal to 420. 1 times 3 is equal to 3. So we have 420 divided by 3 as our answer. Let's go ahead and figure out what that will be. 3 goes into 4 one time. Subtract and we get 1. Bring down our 2. 3 goes into 12 4 times. We've got 12 with 0 left over. We need one more 0 here, and we have an answer of 140. So we have yards by itself left in our unit, so we must have 140 yards as our answer. And we're all done. We can use a unit multiplier like that to help us to solve. Now another way you could have done this problem was to say, well, 420 feet. There's 3 feet in 1 yard. I've got to divide by 3. So I'm going to get 140 yards. You could have also done that, just like we did here, to find your answer. But this problem said use unit multipliers to convert 420 feet to yards. So you wanted to show this in order to fulfill that. Let's go ahead and move on to our next example. Use a unit multiplier to convert 4.6 miles to feet. Now, you live near the mile-high city of Denver, okay? You better know that there's 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Or we could write it the other way. We could say 1 mile is the same as 5,280 feet. So we've got our 2 unit multipliers. Okay, we have 4.6 miles. Let's use a different color here. 4.6 miles over 1. And we're going to multiply that by a unit multiplier to get to feet. So we've got miles on top. We want to get rid of miles, so we need 1 on top, 1 on bottom, so they cancel out. We have miles on top, miles on bottom, that must mean we have feet on top. Okay, so the one we're going to want to use is our top one this time. 5,280 feet on top, 1 mile on bottom. So to find our answer here, we need to multiply 4.6 by 5,280 to figure out what we get. Let's go ahead and do that math. We have 5,280 times 4.6. Well, we know 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. Let's carry that 1. 6 times 5 is 30. Plus 1 more gives us 31. We've got 0 as a placeholder. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 8 is 32. So we're going to scratch the 4 and we're going to put a 3. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 3 more is 11. We're going to carry the 1. It's already there. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 gives us 21. We're going to add to figure out how many feet are in 4.6 miles. 0 and 8. 6 plus 2 is 8 more. 1 plus 1 is 2. 3 plus 1 is 4. And we've got a 2. Now we've got a decimal, so we're multiplying by a decimal. So we have to move the decimal out 1. We moved it out 1. We have to bring it back in 1 to balance everything out. So we bring it back in 1, and we've got our answer. Our answer is 24,288 feet. 24,288. We're just going to fit it in here on the bottom, feet. We know feet are left over because the miles divided by miles cancel each other out. We've got one more example today. Let's use a unit multiplier to convert 4 tons to pounds. Now, what you need to know in this one is that 1 ton is the same as 2,000 pounds. Okay, so in this one, let's think about this one. 4 tons to pounds. If 1 ton is 2,000 pounds, then 4 tons must be how many pounds? Well, it must be 4 times bigger than 2,000. So we must get 8,000 pounds. But this problem said to use a unit multiplier. We could circle our answer, but to get full credit, we've got to show that work. Use a unit multiplier. So 4 tons over 1 times, well, we know tons goes on the bottom because tons cancels out, and we're going to be left with pounds. LBS, that's our abbreviation for pounds. So we know that there's 2,000 pounds in 1 ton, and we can see our math. 4 times 2,000. That's equal to 8,000. Tons is on top, tons is on bottom. They cancel each other out because they're exactly the same. We get 8,000, and our unit must be pounds. And you could write it out as pounds, or you could write it out as LBS. Use that abbreviation when you can. We're all done. That's our lesson for today. Our lesson practice will be on page 80. Make sure you've got your notes completed, and I'll see you during our next class.